Ooh, this bad boy is an exciting one. You see, Nvidia stock up 5% after hours. Well, what's going on that made this stock take off? Let's take a look. So, first, as I like to do here, we want to look at this stock's valuation, okay? We want to take a look because obviously you think after an earnings, people are always concerned with, is this stock worth buying right now? Well, after such a takeoff, let's just take a look. So right now, they're currently posting a PE ratio of 70 with a forward PE ratio of 37. Obviously, I think that is a little high, but as we look a little bit further into this, obviously we'll take a look here. If I'm looking from a perspective of how this company's been historically doing, it's been good. It's been a very good historical performance, very good growth in revenue, consistently, no doubt, since at least 2015 for sure. Obviously, this isn't showing me that full year, but I know it's been a good year. Good time since 2015 minimum for this company. They've been growing revenue rapidly, no doubt about it. Let's get into this earnings, though, see what they did this quarter, and see if we can take a look at it. So, obviously, Nvidia posts a non-GAAP EPS of $1.89, which beats by 22 cents, and a GAAP EPS of $1.53, which beats by 19 cents. Good job. Good stuff. Revenue of $3.11 billion, which is a 40% increase year over year, and they beat by $130 million. So you see why the stock rose, obviously. I mean, that's pretty no-nonsense numbers. You see that? It's all beats. Good stuff to see. Obviously, with it, that's usually when they announce their dividend. Nothing crazy. A dividend of 16 cents as they've been doing, which is a forward yield of, that's right, 0.24%. A lot of people may ask, what's the point of a dividend if it's so small? Well, in my opinion, I think even just having a dividend at all is a good sign for the health of a stock. If the stock's paying out a dividend, they obviously have the cash to spend. They're making money. I think it's something that attracts investors and helps that stock price go up as well. So even if it's just a slight dividend, it's good to have that dividend. It just makes the company look good overall. So I'm a huge fan of even the smallest dividend. That's no worries. 0.22% or 0.24%, who cares? Now it's around 0.22% after this run up. So, that's okay though. We're okay with that. So when I'm looking at this company, I think it ticks off a couple check marks for me. So if I consider buying it, it ticks off check marks, okay? You're paying me a dividend, and they're not getting rid of the dividend. They're still paying it out. So that is a good thing for me. They're making profit, which I like. Now you look at the forward P ratio, a little bit pricey at around 36. But I will make an argument for it where I think the valuation is a little bit high. But the company, I think, backs it up with very high revenue growth and making profit and beating on their profit goals. So I think overall this company I think it's the real deal. Now, as far as valuation is concerned, I'm curious on it, but I think it's a company that earns a little bit higher valuation than your average PE ratio being around 25 to 30. I think it's a company that earns a valuation higher than that average. I think it is, just because of the growth piece it is and the high potential that it has in the future. So we'll get into the earnings, a little more in detail in just a little bit. But I did want to say, I was planning on making a video of some of the best stocks I think we could see over the next decade. And I think Nvidia certainly should be on there. I think there's many reasons for it, just because of the potential that Nvidia has in all aspects. So Nvidia is a chip-making company, which people must know primarily making graphics chips for computers. Everyone knows the graphics cards. But one really big aspect that they have as well, I suppose the artificial intelligence that they work with right now, would be the fact that they have some facial recognition technology as well. They really just have a lot going for them they're poised for the future, really, is what I should say. So they're well ahead of the game when it comes to what the future looks like. They have all that down packed. So I think Nvidia is well positioned in the future. So that's why I think this a little bit increased valuation is fair for a company like this. Let's go more into these earnings now. Obviously, we love talking about Nvidia stock, no doubt about it. Who the heck is this on the left here? I don't know who that lady is, but Sandra Ward, I don't care. Get out of here. What happens if I hit X on that? Ooh, I got rid of it. Let's go. So Nvidia gained 6.2% after beating Q4 estimates on the top and bottom line and growing revenue. Q1 outlook sees a revenue of $3 billion versus a consensus of $2.86 billion. So, boom. You beat on revenue, you beat on EPS, and you beat guidance. Love it. Plus or minus 2%. Gross margin of 65%, plus or minus basis points. Okay. And operating expenses of $835 million. Q4 adjusted gross margin was 65.4%, which is above the consensus of 64.5%. Good. Revenue by market. Gaming was up 56% year over year, so that is again going to be your graphics cards, which is $1.5 billion of the business. Pretty much the main portion of their business right now. Consensus was 1.52, so still good. Professional visualization up 13%, 331 million versus a 328.1 million consensus. Data center was up 43% year over year. Very good, much higher than consensus. Auto, don't forget that too. I'm just saying, in autonomous vehicles, Nvidia will play a part. There is no denying. But they were a little bit below consensus there. OEM and other was above consensus as well. Let's look into some of these fine details now as we look into Nvidia. So, obviously, the adoption of Nvidia accelerated computer drove excellent results with record data center revenue, says Jensen Huang. Nvidia RTX ray tracing is reinventing computer graphics, driving powerful adoption across gaming, VR, and design markets, while opening new opportunities in rendering and cloud gaming. Nvidia AI is enabling breakthroughs in language understanding, no doubt about it, conversational AI, and recommendation engines, the core algorithms that power the internet today, for sure. And the Nvidia, new Nvidia computing applications in 5G, genomics, robotics and autonomous vehicles enable us to continue important work that has great impact. Love this. I love what this company's doing. I think they're very well poised for the future, and that's why it's a company that I think is worth getting into even at a little bit high valuation. I love it. So obviously you see a little bit difference, up 41% year over year in terms of revenue, up 30% quarter over quarter. Gross margin was up quite a bit year over year. Very nice. Operating expenses was also up year over year, but that does come with that increase in revenue. Nothing crazy about that. Operating income was up 237% year over year, so a lot more profit brought in. Love that. And net income up 68%. Love what they're bringing in right now. I just love it. EPS up 66%. Gotta love it. And that's from a GAAP perspective too. So that is the freaking generally accepted accounting practices. This is what we all go based off of, which is nice. On a non-GAAP, obviously you see some better numbers here because it's kind of what the company chooses to report on. So fiscal year for 2020, you see overall revenue was down year over year for the full year at least. So something that could be said about there for sure. Gross margin was up, operating expenses up, operating income down, net income down for the full year, and diluted earnings per share EPS was down for the year. So definitely something you consider there if you're looking at this too. Makes sense. So for the first quarter of 2021, revenue of $3 billion is expected. We saw these lovely things. While the ultimate effect of the coronavirus is difficult to estimate, and you see a lot of these companies, they have to include the coronavirus in their earnings because, it could have an impact. And that's what investors are really curious about right now. The company has reduced its revenue outlook by $100 million because they see a potential impact from the coronavirus. Maybe, who knows? So in gaming, they grew momentum for ray tracing and the launch of such RTX-enabled games as Deliver Us, The Moon, not sure what that one is, Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Bright Memory. I don't know what these games are. I do know what Wolfenstein is, but I didn't know Youngblood was a thing. Am I insane? I don't know these things. That's crazy. Brought us GeForce Now, cloud gaming service out of beta, and opening up PC gaming to hundreds of millions of consumers who can now add virtual GeForce graphics card to their device and play games on their own, as well as play free-to-play games. That's right. That's freaking right. Virtual graphics card. Virtual. Brought its number of gaming laptops to a record 125 models, including the world's first 14-inch GeForce RTX laptop, the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. They're confusing me right now. Why do gaming laptops have to have such stupid names? Continue to build G-Sync momentum at CES with the launch of Asus. I can't say that, sorry. Asus ROG Swift 360, the world's fastest monitor with 360 hertz refresh rate, and LG adopting a G-Sync in its new lineup of OLED TVs. That's right, Nvidia's in TVs too. They're in everything, baby. From data centers and edge computing, they unveiled the first scalable GPU-accelerated supercomputer in the cloud using, that's right, Microsoft Azure, my favorite. I love me some Microsoft stock too. With access of up to 800 Nvidia V100 Tensor Core GPUs. No doubt about it. Honestly, I'm reading through this. I'm going to put a limit order for this stock right now. Gosh dang. I'm not actually, but it makes me want to. So it announced that it is powering the world's most powerful industrial supercomputer, the HPC5, which has 7,280 Nvidia V100 GPUs and is operated by Italian energy company Eni. Announced Alibaba and Baidu's recommendation engines run on Nvidia AI. Gosh dang, what is this company not doing? Bringing Amazon EC to G4 instances to customer data centers. My gosh, I love this company. I didn't before reading this earnings because it wasn't a company that I looked that much into. But since this earnings, this is a stock I've been missing out on. My gosh, I've been missing out on it. But they introduced the Tensor RT. Also they collaborated with ARM. We can't skip this guy. But they joined forces with Amazon Web Services using NVIDIA T4 Tensor GPUs to power Amazon Web Services Outpost, bringing Amazon. I think I just skipped some words. That's okay. Collaborated with ARM, Ampere Computing, Fujitsu, and Marvell on a new reference design platform for GPU-accelerated ARM-based servers with a Red Hat to bring GPU acceleration to ARM for HPC applications. Introduced NVIDIA Tensor RT7 and an inference software development kit, paving the way to smarter and faster conversational AI. That's right. Eat that, Siri. This is Siri right here for you. Introducing the Tensor R7 and I feel like I'm skipping so many things. I'm not. I'm rereading things. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. Unveiled NVIDIA Clara Federated Learning, a reference application that preserves patient privacy while preserve patient privacy. Sorry, that one's difficult. While improving global model accuracy, already in the American College of Radiology and UCLA Health. Introducing Magnum IO. What else are they announcing? My gosh. A software suite for data scientists and high-performance computing researchers that optimized to eliminate storage and input-output bottlenecks. Released a new version of NVIDIA Isaac software development kit, a unified robotic development platform to accelerate the development of testing robots. Okay, we love it. Now professional visualization. We got to look at this. Almost done here. They brought RTX technology to new desktop and laptops from Acer and joined forces with Adobe to provide a complimentary 3-month Adobe Creative Cloud membership with the new RTX Studio purchasers, introducing RTX capabilities to Autodesk's Maya 2020, Dassault's Katia 2020, and Siemens Ray Trace Studio with the release of new Nvidia Quadro driver and Nvidia Studio driver. And they expanded the reach of RTX technology into Chaos Group, V-Ray, Autodesk's and Arnold and Blender's cycles, enabled designers to create complex 3D visuals, accurate reflections, and more. And in automotive, they announced Drive, AGX Orin, an advanced software-defined platform for autonomous vehicles capable of achieving 200 TOPS, TOPS that is, nearly 7 times that of the previous generation SoC. What the crap? Finally, we're looking here at the current assets increased year over year. Right now they have cash on hand of $10.8 billion, nearly $10.9 billion, really. Love that. Current liabilities of accounts payable of only 600 million only, but they got $10 billion in cash. I'm gonna lose my mind. I love this company. I love a company. I'm buying some more. I'm buying some more. Really, I'm initiating a position, but I have a small position right now. And it's really not my main brokerage, as you have noticed maybe. I'm going to up my contribution to this stock. I know it might be crazy with the valuation, and sometimes you'll catch me, but I make exceptions when the valuation isn't absolutely insane, which it's not absolutely insane. I think the market's insane right now with a lot of these companies, but I don't think Nvidia deserves that type of recognition. This balance sheet's lovely. Good guidance, good everything, good revenue, good everything. They're poised for the future. That's why they're going to be one of my favorite stocks in the next decade, no doubt. Hope you enjoyed.